Hi guys, so today we're going to be doing a reading for Capricorn Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements, and this is from the time period of February 14th to the 20th. Sorry this is a little late, you guys, but this can apply to earlier in this week as well. And alright, so just a little disclaimer before I start. This setup probably won't be permanent. I am new to reading tarot on YouTube, so I'm still learning how to set up and what looks good and what works. So if the audio is a little off or the video quality is a little off, I apologize. Things will get better with time. Just gotta practice some more and all of that. And also the painting in the background, I am not I am not an artist. I am a tarot reader, so that is why it's not the best thing in the world, but you know, things will change. It is fine. I am new to this, or posting at least, so just bear with me and I will try to do the best I can. Now is the time really to be okay with not knowing and being okay with the time of year it is right now, where things aren't really growing. They're just kind of still and dead, and you know, nothing much is really happening in that department. And I feel like Spirit is trying to tell you that that's okay for this time period, especially right now with you guys, because I feel like Capricorns do a lot of deep introspection in the first place, especially around winter time. I feel like this is where you guys figure a lot of stuff out for yourselves and kind of push yourselves on that new chapter in your life for the coming year, because your birthdays are around that time and you guys are good at kind of setting up a plan and following through with it, or having set goals for yourself and producing them in a, you know, timely manner. And while things may not be happening I cannot speak with this Mercury retrograde. While things may not be happening for you that quickly right at the moment, Spirit is trying to tell you in this time where things are extremely dark and things may not be working out for you, or the people around you may be very depressing or gloomy, bringing you down. The weather may just be really depressing at the moment for you guys. Or how nothing is happening. I feel like that's very depressing for you. This isn't necessarily Spirit saying nothing will happen, like that you want to happen. It's just nothing may be happening right now, or nothing of extreme importance may be happening right now that they need you to like really not necessarily focus on. It's just all of the problems right now are mundane and won't matter in the future, is kind of what Spirit's trying to say. Now is just a winter period where things are a little bit darker and more gloomy. But your part in all of this is to show unconditional love in any way possible. That was the definition of this card when I looked it up. It says here, do your part to illuminate the universe, which is pretty much be a shining light in some way or another. But the definition of this card, especially with the pink, it said illuminate or radiate pink love energy out if you can do so possibly. I'm not sure if that's gonna make any sense for you guys, but to me, I kind of just be that one person that people go to work and look to find some type of happiness in, if that makes sense. Or be that person in your family that is always just so kind and supportive, even when they're going through hard times, that you are just like a beacon of light in some way. That is what Spirit's trying to accentuate, is that you have that within you, even when you're surrounded by gloom and doom. There's a lot you can do to bring love and positivity into the world, and that is part of your guys' purpose at this moment, is to bring some of that energy in that people may not be used to receiving, I guess, from others around them. So yeah, I hope that resonated a little bit with you guys. I found it to be very interesting when I pulled those cards, but I think this one is one to keep in mind for sure, so I'm going to show it again and just try and keep that energy this week for sure, especially when things all seem to be going wrong. Just to have that, like, that little bit of hope and that little bit of, like, you know, eternal love, positivity that you're being called to radiate out, that will bring a lot of happiness to the people around you and to you yourself. Okay, so now we're going to get into the Celtic or Celtic cross-spread, however you prefer to say it. I'm not sure how I like to pronounce it, I guess, or the way it's supposed to be pronounced, so I've been saying both. Hello, Mercury retrograde. So this is just going to be a general reading for you guys, Capricorn Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising people. I'm not asking about a specific situation. It's just whatever needs to be talked about is going to be talked about pretty in depth. So yeah, we're just going to get right into it. The first card we have is the Knight of Air, or the Knight of Swords. Okay. And then the conflict or challenge we have is renewal. So the Judgment card. Also, this deck is very well loved. I'm going to say that. I've had it for a very long time, like 7 or so years. And I've used it a lot, and it's very trusty. I never want to get rid of it, so I'm sorry for how the cards look. And now what is going on with Capricorns in this situation in the subconscious or below the surface? Ooh, a bunch of cards flew, but the one I'm going to take is the Tower reverse, or Life Experience reverse in this deck. Okay, and then what has happened to the Capricorns in the past that has brought them to this point? We have the Page of Pentacles, or the Page of Earth in this deck. And now, what is the energy that Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus people are presenting to the outside world for their hopes and wishes regarding this situation? We have the Ace of Cups and the Moon. I'm going to use both because I feel like both resonate. Sorry about the glare as well. I'm still working on lighting and what works. Just bear with me, you guys. Here's the Moon as well. Okay. And now we're going to get what's going to happen for Capricorns in the near future regarding this situation. We have the Page of Cups. Okay. So, for you guys, right now I can see a lot of things happening for you at a fast pace. Things in your schedule may have picked up a lot, or you find yourself communicating a lot more rapidly with the people around you or in your life. Whoops. My bad. What's this card? This is the Seven of Pentacles reverse. So, maybe the waiting period is over for you guys right now. Maybe things were slow to progress or slow to fruition in the past, but now that is a thing of the past, and things are starting to happen rapidly, and you're deciding to express yourself, I feel like, for the first time in a long time. And I feel like this is coming from some information that you have learned in the past. I'm going to get a clarifier or two on the Page of Pentacles and what that means for you guys. We have the Four of Wands in reverse, and we'll do one more. And we have Justice. So, okay, I'm thinking that there was some situation, whether it is within your family life or the people you live with or the people you feel the closest or most stable with, there was something that had to happen karmically, not necessarily in a bad way, but it taught you guys a lesson that you really needed to learn, and that pushed you to move a little bit faster than you maybe had been moving before when it comes to just getting things done in general, I think, or making a very important decision. I feel like that is tearing you one way or the other, with Judgment being the conflict for you guys. I feel like when it comes to this, I'm looking at these top two cards and the bottom one with the Tower reverse, the Ace of Cups, and the Moon. For the Ace of Cups and the Moon, we're going to see what pops out for that. We have the Nine of Cups, so like a wish fulfillment. And we're going to get one more. Just to see exactly what we're talking about here. That was a little too many. Again, a little too many. So maybe Spirit just wants me to ride with that. Yeah. The cards that just flew out were the Emperor, the Ten of Pentacles, and Temperance, though. So I could see for you guys, the thing that you want the most, or the way that you're presenting yourself right now, is I can see a very, like, intuitive way of being. I think you guys can see situations now very clearly, whether you know exactly what you're going to do or not about the situation. With the the Nine of Cups as well, I think you guys may have got some type of romantic love offer, or something you were anticipating romantically or hoping for. I think that that has happened to you or will happen to you this week. Something you knew was going to happen with the moon. Maybe had been having dreams about. Some type of insight involving a love relationship that you knew was coming, or you really wanted to happen, is going to be happening. And I feel like that will be taking up a lot of your thoughts at this time, or the way you're presenting yourself. And maybe with this new way of communicating rapidly and just kind of being clear and decisive with your words, and not necessarily holding back in any way whatsoever anymore, this may have triggered this to happen for you guys. And with all this new thing that all of these new things that you have learned in the past with Justice and the sorry, I'm saying cards wrong, the Four of Wands reverse, I can see that something within your home life, or within the people that really matter to you, now that everything has been evened out on the playing field and every party is good, I can see that you're willing, more so, especially in the future, to take a chance on this romantically. I can see with these cup cards all in this, like, little area on top, I can see love being on the brain right now for you. But I want to see why this Tower is reversed in your subconscious, to see if it has anything to do with romance at all. We have the Six of Pentacles. We have the Sun. I can see, I'm going to pull one more card before I talk, but I have a feeling I understand why this is here now. We have a Ten of Cups. Okay. So, I have a feeling that something that went wrong in the past has finally either cleared up, or there has been a resolution revolving around this. I feel like there's more equal give and take in this situation now. There's a lot of mutual happiness, and a lot of mutual emotional happiness, especially with these two cards. The fact that these two cards are right next to each other, next to a Tower card reverse, definitely means that there was some type of reconciliation, or reconciliation has really affected you deeply. It may have healed some type of traumatic wound, or some type of traumatic issue you were dealing with in regards to this, or some uncertainty that the Tower moment brought for you in regards to the situation. And I have a feeling, though, in the future, I can see you, especially with renewal, if this has to do with, like, renewing a romantic connection, which I'm really kind of getting from this spread, I kind of want to see how it's going to go for you guys, or the way that you're going to go about it, or the way that this person may go about it, with a Page of Cups in the future. We have the High Priestess, so following intuition very greatly, and the Five of Wands in reverse. So that's very interesting how that came up as well. I do want one more card, because I want to get the most insight on this stuff for you guys. Yep. Okay, that is what I figured. And we have the Nine of Swords in reverse as well. I have a feeling that there was some trauma cleared, I feel like, subconsciously within you, because of either this lesson you learned, or with the moon giving you some insight. There's a lot of pay attention to your intuition cards on the board right now, because your intuition is very strong at this moment, and it will be in the future. I feel like you will subconsciously know exactly when, where, and how to present this romantic offer, or this offer, if it could be revolving around like a creative project, or something you really love to do. I feel like you'll know exactly what you're going to do about it in the future, and how to present this idea and put it on the table. And I feel like this is going to come with a lot of like getting over how anxious you've been feeling about this in the past, or getting over some self-confidence issues, or some inner work had to be done definitely for you to even get to this point, to have this courage and to be able to listen to yourself this in depth. So yeah, Capricorns, this was a very good reading, I think, for you guys. I'm just going to leave it at that. I hope it resonated for you and continues to resonate for the rest of the week, because things are looking good for you. Alright, so now I am going to do a romance reading for you guys. That's going to be in a he said, she said format, which is, I will explain in 1 second. Just gotta find where I set these cards. Oh, there they are. Sorry. Okay, so now we're going to be doing a he said, she said romance reading. One card will be you. I'm picking from the animal deck now. One card will be you. One card will be the person we are asking about romantically. In Capricorn's life, we have the owl, which is listen to the messages of the angels. This could be you, this could be them. We don't know yet. And the other person is the hedgehog. So be a magnet for light, love, and joy. Cute. I love these cards. Alright, so one person is you, one person is the person we're asking about romantically. And now the 3 cards I'm going to pull for the top row are what's going on in your guys' life, either romantically or not. That will depend on what shows up. This is a romance reading, so most likely it will be romantically, but you never know. And then the 2 cards I pull in the middle will be the efforts that each person is putting towards the other. I will explain more as we get into that. So if the first card for the owl we got is the Emperor reverse. 3 of Swords reverse. And Temperance. Okay, and now the card I'm pulling now is how the owl is presenting the way that they're feeling in their life to the hedgehog. The hedgehog will be able to see how this conscious effort for the middle card, but they may not necessarily be able to see this side of things, because this is going on within the owl's either brain or own life. So this may be on the forefront, it may not. We will see in a second. So how is the owl presenting this information, or presenting themselves to the hedgehog? We got the 5 of Cups in reverse. Very interesting. Okay, so right away the first thing I thought when I saw this is the owl is taking control over a past heartbreak, or a heartbreak of the current time, and they are restoring balance in their own lives and within themselves. And this may be because they are deciding to pay attention to the signs around them from the universe, or their angels, or spirit guides, or whatever it is, or just signs like that pop up randomly. They are deciding to pay more attention to that, and they're deciding to release the need to control this aspect within themselves. They really need to restore balance, and I feel like this is happening for them. And the way they're presenting themselves to the hedgehog, and I'm not sure if that hedgehog is the person that broke their heart yet, we will see, but it seems like there was some sadness in the past that they were expressing, some very 5 of Cups energy, woe is me, depression, crying over spilled milk, but this could have been a serious situation, not something petty like that. But I can see them, you know, turning the tables a little bit and becoming a little bit less upset, and I feel like the hedgehog will be able to sense this change, that there is some growth and progress past this heartbreak that they are, or that had affected them in the past very strongly. And I feel like the owl is trying to express the fact that they're getting over this sadness, while not quite being fully over it yet. I feel like they are trying to present that things are getting a little bit better within them and themselves and the way they're feeling. All right, and the first card I got for Capricorn, sorry, for the Capricorn love spread, we'll just say that. This could be you guys if I said that way. But this, we have the Nine of Cups. But take it how it resonates. You don't have to do everything I say. We have Death. And one more card. We have the Ten of Cups. Okay. And now how is the hedgehog presenting this? Ooh. Well, I mean, we did get your card, Capricorn, the Devil. Very interesting. So, I also see, right off the bat, some type of healing going on within the hedgehog. I can see the hedgehog either being very emotionally satisfied because they got something they wanted, either romantically or in general when it comes to, like, love. But also, there's death, so something must have just ended for you, for the hedgehogs. And the Devil being presented to the owl, I can either see, either the hedgehog is being manipulative in some way to the owl, maybe hiding their true feelings behind this mask, or the hedgehog is wanting something from the owl that may not necessarily be in either the hedgehog or the owl or both of theirs best interests. It may have to do with, we'll just say it, it may have to do with sex. It may have to do with drugs. It may have to do with toxic patterns, like relationship-wise, like a friends with benefits situation that isn't healthy. Or you guys could just be, if this applies to you, Capricorn, and you don't think you're being that way, this could just be you are fully being yourselves to this person at this time. We can also take it that way because of the way this reading is and how this is your card. And also with Death over here, I wouldn't necessarily take that extremely negatively because of these two cards right here. I can either see something ending for the hedgehog that needed to end for them to be fully emotionally happy, so it could have been a toxic relationship ended and it was a good thing actually, or it was an end of a cycle or a phase that really needed to end in order for the hedgehog to have this happiness within themselves. But we'll see more as time goes on why the Devil popped up for the way that the hedgehog is approaching the owl. Maybe the hedgehog is kind of being a little bit manipulative and a little bit of a bad person in a way because of this newfound emotional fulfillment, if that makes sense. But we will see. The next row is going to be the challenges each one faces in their romantic relationships or towards each other romantically. So I'm going to start pulling for the owl first. The 3 cards will be how the challenges they face in regards to the relationship. Okay, so we got 3 cards right away. We have the Sun, we have the 5 of Cups, 5 of Potions in this deck, and the 2 of Wands reverse. And now we are going to pick how these challenges are being presented to the hedgehog. A little bit too many cards. We have the Lovers reversed. Okay, so for the owl, I can see that the challenges that they're facing right now, the owl may be going through a period of depression and loneliness and not really knowing exactly which path to take. And I feel like the way they're expressing it to the hedgehog is, you can tell the owl, okay, so I feel like the hedgehog definitely knows the owl has feelings for them, but right now the relationship could be in a little bit of a bad spot. I'll just show you this card right side up because I really like this one. It's cute. But you guys could be in a bad spot relationship-wise. You guys could be in a friends with benefits situation, and that is how the energy is being presented, where I feel like with the owl, the connection that they have with the hedgehog maybe drains them and makes them sad because of the Five of Cups appearing twice and one in the challenge position for sure. I feel like, and with the sun right next to it, happiness and feeling this way is very hard when it comes to all of the changes that have happened in this relationship, or all of the lessons that the owl has had to learn about releasing control and letting go and letting things happen for the balance to restore itself. But with the Two of Wands reversed, I can also see like a lack of action being taken involving the decision or what path to take in the relationship next. I can see the owl kind of still not being sure, and that's why they're not really coming across as a lover's upright. They're coming as a lover's reverse, where it's like the hedgehog knows that the owl has feelings for them, but the hedgehog or the owl can't really give them their all because they're not themselves. They're not fully healed yet. I feel like that's something the owl's going through right now, is they may have a lot of things they still have to work through and they haven't quite accomplished for them to be able to bring all of themselves to the table in full. So now we'll get the hedgehog and the challenges they have within this relationship romantically. Oh my lord. Okay, we have Temperance reverse. Another card I really like in this deck. We have World reverse. Oh, and the Page of Pentacles, or the Page of Presents in this deck. And how is this energy being presented to the owl? The energy that the hedgehog is feeling, challenge-wise, in the relationship. Well, we got two cards. I'm going to take them both. We have, I think this is, yeah, this is Strength. And this is the King of Presents, so the King of Pentacles in this deck. All right. So, for the hedgehog, I can see that the challenges that they are having in this romantic relationship at this moment is a lack of balance and a lack of things not resolving, if that makes sense. If there is an underlying issue that you two have that never gets resolved, that is definitely weighing on the hedgehog. And I feel like there needs to be some type of conclusion or closure. The owl needs to, not closure, I guess, but like revelation, I suppose. The owl needs to flip this card around in order for any of these feelings to be transpired to the hedgehog, because I think the hedgehog is coming to the owl with a lot more diligence, for sure, a lot more to offer, not in a bad way, like towards the owl, but I feel like they have kind of all of their ducks in a row right now, especially materialistically or materially. Like they may have a house and they may have a lot of finances and they may have a really good career or a stable like career that they like, that is really giving them the strength and motivation to pursue the hedgehog, or to present the fact that they really need some type of closure, if this world is closure, this World reverse card, if that's why it's here. And that might be why the Death card is here as well. Or they just need some type of balance or restoration of balance in the cycle or in the relationship for things to progress. I feel like the hedgehog is really taking what they've learned in the past, or things that have gone well for them romantically. I feel like they're taking those as positive lessons in order to progress past this difficult point with the owl, I think. I think they recognize that the owl is going through a problem when it comes to their self-esteem, I can see, or their healing and hurting process. Because I think with this Lovers reversed, I think that the energy that the hedgehog can see with the Lovers reverse is they're very aware about, I feel like they can see kind of through the owl when it comes to how they're feeling, the sadness. They know it's still there, but they know they're trying to get better. They know that they still love them, but there's just still something that's not sitting right, or the healing still needs to take place. And I feel like the hedgehog is being supportive in a way, in whatever way they want them to be. And I feel like this Devil is, at this point, if this part is Capricorn, and I have a feeling it is, unless you guys are this, you definitely could be too. But I feel like the hedgehog is really just trying to be their full, honest selves, their full, hopeful, helpful, especially honest selves that can provide a lot of strength and stability in a connection. I think the hedgehog is trying to like prove that they have that going for them, and they don't want these annoying like repetitive cycles to repeat over and over again, and they want some type of like stable security that never really changes. Okay, so now I'm going to do a future, what's going to happen between the two of you in the future. We'll pick for the owl first. Most likely outcome between the two of you in the future. We have the Magician for the owl. We have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. I had to see which way it wanted to go. One more card for the owl is the Five of Pentacles. Okay, and now I want one more card and how the owl is going to present themselves or present this to the hedgehog. We have the Nine of Swords. Oops. Nine of Swords. Okay. So, the owl, I feel like this could be either a warning sign. If you keep up the negative attitude and the woe is me, everything is going to be bad, I feel like you're going to, in the future, manifest that type of outcome for yourself, and you are going to present a lot of feelings of, like, lack of abundance, if that makes sense. I feel like if you are the owl, or the owl is kind of setting themselves up for failure in a way. I'm not saying romantically, I'm saying with their attitude and what they bring to the table and how their feelings are being presented and how their lives end up happening might be a product of their own words and their own manifestations. I'm not saying that that applies to everyone, but I have a feeling that this card set is for a specific set of people. Like, if you don't start, wiping those tears up and moving on and, being okay with how your life is going and just going with the flow and letting go of control, this could be a warning that things will just get worse and you'll feel even more out of touch and even more needy and dependent and unsure and very unhappy and worried about it in the future. I don't mean to laugh, but I see a lot of unhappiness and a lot of not, like, needing something to go. Like, the owl, it seems like the owl is trying to manipulate the future for themselves, not in a bad way. They're trying to create their own reality, but they're doing so with a negative mindset. So they're creating a negative future or negative reality in some way or another. But I will pull a few more cards, and I want to see how the hedgehog is coming at, or how the hedgehog is romantically towards this person in the future. We got the Nine of Cups again for the hedgehog. It's a little too many. The Moon. Ooh, flying all over the place. Try not to mess anything up by picking it up. And the Five of Wands in reverse. Okay. And now how is the hedgehog presenting themselves to the owl in the future? We have the Ace of Cups. Okay, we're going to pull one more card for how they're coming towards the hedgehog or how the hedgehog's coming towards the owl. That's what I want a card for. Sun. And then I'm going to pull one more for the owl just to get like some final insight on this spread and we can just talk about it instead of pull more cards. I have the Six of Pentacles in reverse for the owl. Okay, so we'll talk about the hedgehog really quickly. I can see for the hedgehog, there's still some wish fulfillment. So I have a feeling that the owl is the hedgehog's wish fulfillment. And I feel like the hedgehog is either being told this in a dream space or very intuitively, or that information was like gifted to them on some type of insight, or like a sign or something was presented to them with the moon. I feel like the hedgehog is realizing more when it comes to how they feel about the hedgehog, and I think that I feel like there's a lot of inner conflict though on still what to do about it, even though I see the Sun and Ace of Cups. So I see an act of love graciously being given to the owl because of this realization. I think the hedgehog either wants some type of wish fulfillment or is in a very good place emotionally and is very happy in general, and they kind of want to share that happiness with the owl in some way, because I feel like the hedgehog knows that the owl's been going through it subconsciously as well. But on the owl side of things, with the Six of Pentacles in reverse, the Five of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, and the Nine of Swords, the Magician being like, this is what you brought upon yourself, I could see the whole, I think the owl is still very wrapped up in their own head. I think the owl feels the same way about the hedgehog, but they feel almost desperate for it. There's still something, I think, stopping the owl from fully like presenting that they're healing and they're still hurting and going through it, and I feel like it's being presented in a very anxious and like anti-receptive way. I feel like the hedgehog isn't, or the owl may not quite be ready for this love offer that the hedgehog is trying to present. The hedgehog may be a step or two ahead of the owl spiritually. Not in all formats, but I think in this specific situation, the hedgehog kind of has more figured out on the feelings plane than the owl does. I feel like the owl is still going through something and processing things that they are not quite over, and they need more time, I think, in order to feel comfortable with themselves and where they are in their life. The owl also may be going through some financial problems with this right here, and that may be causing some worry because they can't really bring anything to the table for the hedgehog, and the hedgehog has been bringing the King of Pentacles energy and the Strength and the Ace of Cups and the Sun. So I feel like maybe the owl is a little upset that they don't have much to give while the hedgehog has so much to give. And the hedgehog has come to this conclusion by definitely tapping into their feelings and listening to their intuition and using the past problems for their own benefit, and realizing that there are some conflict that needs to be resolved, and that not everything can be handed to you on a platter. Sometimes you have to work for things, and sometimes things are given to you. And like, I feel like, I know that's like two really contradicting things, but it's like sometimes it's one way, sometimes it's the other. You can't necessarily like expect both, but you can do what you can do something with what you're given. And I have a very strong feeling that Capricorns are the hedgehog. I'm not quite sure though, but this, like, it's really, I sense it, if that makes sense, but, or the Capricorn placements. So yeah, I hope this reading resonated for you guys. That's all I kind of really have to say about it. And yeah. I'm just going to clean up these cards really quickly, and we're going to get into an intuitive spread, which is my little way of getting some personal insight for you guys that you may need to hear. It could be a sign, it could be a warning, it could be, you know, like just something you were asking to hear or something you need to hear at this time. It could be advice as well. Anything, really. We'll see. I'll just read the spread as it lays out, and it'll just be the direct message I'm given at just within seeing the cards. Okay, so what is Capricorn Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising need to know from Spirit? Intuitive message. We have the Ace of Cups. We have the Moon again. These two cards came out in the general. And those cards came out in the future. For the love reading. We have Death. I don't know if you got to see that. Oopsie. Still trying to get good angles on the cards as well. We have Strength. One more card. We have the Wheel. Very interesting, you guys. So, there is a situation that is taking place right now that, in the grand scheme of things, is extremely important. I have a feeling it has to do either with your creative prospects in life right now or a love interest with this Ace of Cups. And the Moon is giving you some very important insight involving this. I feel like there may have been a new revelation when it comes to a love interest or your love life in general that you may not have been aware of the past. This may involve an ending of some kind or a breakup, or not necessarily a breakup of yours, but it could be a breakup of someone else, or the ending of an old way of being that led you to this point. I have a feeling though that the Death card is very strong in this specific spread because this Death is really pushing you in a positive way towards something new. With Strength in the Wheel, I think that there's like a new purpose, whether it be like a goal, but I have a feeling it has to do with love with this Ace of Cups. I have you have a lot more motivation and drive to pursue this because you know that that is a destined event and that things are probably going to work out in your favor. I don't see this Death being extremely negative in your life. I feel like it may just be like an old you has bloomed from an old you. Like there's a new you that has blossomed from the old you. I feel like you guys are entering into a new cycle, especially with love lives. Pay attention to your dreams and your intuition. The way this intuition cards or the intuition cards have popped up for me, or like from me to you guys in this spread, is kind of like not alarming, but it's like, okay, so really pay attention to the way you guys are feeling, especially when it has to do with romance. You're probably right, and things will be taking off for you shortly in that department. Sometimes things need to end in order for that to happen, and sometimes people need to fully transform, but I can see a lot of that and a lot of new positive self-growth about it, and you're going to know a lot more than you think you know about this situation, I think, than you originally led on or originally assumed. Okay, so now I'm going to do a closing message from Spirit for you guys to see what Spirit wants you to leave this reading with. Okay, we got Earthed, learning how to be human in this world, but not of it. Okay, and then we're going to pull one from the Moonology deck. We got two. We got Luck is on your side. Oops, almost knocking things over. And don't let your past hold you back. Okay. So, right now, I think that grounding yourself is very important when it comes to things in times like this. When your intuition is very strong, it can be hard to bring yourself back to reality. Not that intuition isn't reality, but you can kind of get lost in your feelings and the way you think things should be, that you're not paying attention to what's going on in 3D. So I think that Spirit's advice to you right now, and what it wants you to do leaving this reading, is now that you know all of this information, don't let it take you too far away from what's going on in real life. You still have things you have to face, but just know that things are going to work out for you in the future, even if they aren't right now. This is Spirit's kind of like little pat on the back that, you know, things are going in your favor for sure, especially with the Wheel of Fortune that we just got in the reading before. That is a very lucky card, so destiny is doing the thing it's supposed to, so don't let your past hold you back by making you insecure on taking the next step, or maybe making you very unsure of what to do or what this really is for you, whatever this is pointing at right now. But definitely bring yourself back to earth, meditate, ground yourself. I know gardening isn't really possible in the middle of winter. We know that, but if you have plants inside, do something along those lines. And definitely improve on a trade or a craft that you guys really like to do in order to keep your mind off of the spiritual things that you can't necessarily control. Or the way that you're being pushed on the path right now might not necessarily be like, it might not be the easiest journey. So in order to distract yourself, not in a bad way, just to make things a little bit easier, enjoy the time you have on this planet. Enjoy things like, maybe with this Earth card and the Void card in the past, if there's a winter activity you like to do, enjoy that, because there are benefits of winter. Even though it's a very like depressing time for most people, there's a lot of good things that come out of it, and a lot of like interesting things to be learned and seen. So yeah, that is my reading for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you got something out of it and it resonated with you at least a little bit. I will be continuing to do these, so if you're interested and liked it, there will be plenty more to come. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!